The world has reliably been enthralled by the charming lives and less than ideal end of Hollywood VIPs. Inside the hip bounce local area, the secretive and lamentable passing of Tupac Shakur has kept on being covered in hypothesis and tattle anyway. The new capture of Keefe has revived confidence among Tupac's committed fan base and friends and family, like Jada Pinkett Smith. It's in that soul that it seems the entertainer has emerged to impart more about her opportunity to the rapper. Now this is the prosecution we've been standing by very nearly 30 years for Back to the Capture. Keefe recently accepted to be the last excess suspect in the 1996 examination of Tupac Shakur, has been captured regarding the Getting Through perplexing case. As affirmed by specialists, he has been officially accused of homicide by a stupendous jury, and the authority recording of the prosecution occurred on the 29th of September 2023, as framed in reports from the Clark Province Area Court. We are here today to declare the capture of 60-year-old Dwayne Keith Davis, also known as Keefe D, for the homicide of Tupac Shakur. Tupac's family and committed fans have at long last witnessed a beam of expectation for equity. Almost 30 years after his grievous passing, one of his fervent admirers smoothly communicated their feelings with the accompanying words, "I was 26 years of age. When this happened, I never figured they would capture anybody. I wish his mother resided to see this. I was so shattered and cried as though I knew Tupac by such countless silly killings." Tupac was relatively radical very early on his life. Was taken, I am happy the individual will be considered responsible for such a terrible wrongdoing, on account of the assurance of the multitude of investigators who never surrendered to get equity for Tupac. We, as a whole value, all you did it gives us trust in humankind. Amidst his fans transparently sharing their feelings about this new improvement, there is one person who stood apart as the absolute first among all superstars in the business to communicate her opinions in regards to Tupac. As a matter of fact, his supposed sweetheart Jada Pinkett, as we've said before, it seems the entertainer just couldn't keep herself away from spilling this time. He resembled a magnet. It was like once you focused on him, he sort of sucked you in. And we hit it off, so when she heard the fresh insight about Keith's capture, she promptly took to virtual entertainment and posted, "Now, I really want to believe that we can find a few solutions and have some conclusion tear pack." This is where theories started to emerge, recommending that she might in any case hold profound affections for Tupac, and there are adequate reasons powering these theories, as despite the fact that she is hitched to Will Smith, Jada Pinkett has reliably shown esteem for Tupac, all through the years extremely discouraged, and he needed to go to Japan. Will did I was on the set, I got 100 roses spectators have regularly brought up that Jada has been open about her past connections, whether or not they were physical or not. This straightforwardness has sporadically caused uneasiness for Will and put their relationship under the public investigation. I got into an alternate sort of trap with August. It appears to be that Jada's relationship with Will is stressed during meetings and public appearances, as well as in their general cooperations, showing a not exactly lovely dynamic between them. One viewpoint that has attracted extensive consideration. Jada and Will's relationship is Jada's getting through association with Tupac. In spite of being hitched to Womp for a long time, Jada has ever delivered her hang on the security she imparted to Tupac. While it's clear that Jada and Tupac were dear companions, her looks and opinions towards Tupac appear to convey a particular and remarkable quality. When contrasted with how she discusses her better half, will many individuals discuss my relationship with Park, and attempting to sort that out, you realize this dynamic has left some contemplating whether Jada's heart actually harbors a significant association with Tupac, as though she has been sincerely fastened to him. Such a long time passing on Will to wrestle with the persevering through presence of this close-to-home ghost. What keeps on puzzling many is the reason Jada undauntedly accepts that there is nobody very like Tupac. She characterized her relationship as it was about endurance. And it's forever been about endurance among us, and holding each other down in manners that he and I could hold each other down. Before her marriage, Jada imparted an uncommonly dear fellowship to the unbelievable rapper Tupac Shakur, who has affectionately recollected, notwithstanding his passing their association was extraordinarily unmistakable. It was not heartfelt, yet it ran profound and conveyed extraordinary importance. As per Makara magazine, Tupac remained savagely defensive of Jada, continuously watching out for the men she dated. He accepted that any man who represented a danger to their kinship might actually turn into an issue. He resembled a magnet. It was like once you focused on him, he sort of sucked you in. And we hit it off, unfortunately. When Jada wedded Will, Tupac had capitulated to the scandalous hooligan way of life, a way of life that additionally killed another prestigious rapper. The famous Huge. The two of them met their less than ideal finishes during the fierce East Coast versus West Coast quarrel. While we understand Jada for the deficiency of her dear companion, a few spectators can't resist the urge to contemplate whether her successive references to Tupac's name are propelled more by a craving for consideration and acknowledgement than by an earnest articulation of regret over losing a companion anyway. It appears to be that Jada is unfaltering in her assurance to share her viewpoint on her life, enveloping her associations with both Will and Tupac. Purportedly, she is currently composing a whole book regarding the matter, as per the related press. This at this point untitled diary, scheduled for discharge in 2023, will dive into the examples she has learned through a difficult yet spellbinding excursion. This approaching book is supposed to dig into her marriage with Will, as well as put a critical accentuation on her significant warmth for Tupac. Will ye your accomplice, your life accomplice, my life accomplice? He enjoys a decent experience. Definitely the expectation of Tupac's presence in her book is likewise mounting inside the public, powered by Jada's reliable notices of him in the past. According to a new official statement, Jada's forthcoming diary promises to be a sincere and unvarnished story of her unusual childhood in Baltimore, her mind-boggling union with Will Smith, and her simultaneous excursion to fame close by Tupac. After the thing you've been showing everyone in the streaming show, better believe it, read casual conversation in the house. Besides, apparently, she tracks down fulfillment, intending to the difficulties in her marriage on public TV, and on occasion unpretentiously attracts correlations with Tupac, which can be seen as a type of study against Will to give some setting. Her conversations about Will strikingly contrast from her discussions about Tupac. The kind of relationship we had, you just get that once in a lifetimes. Various insiders who are conscious of Jada Pinkett's relationship with Tupac have affirmed that Tupac saw Jada simply as a companion or a careful figure anyway. When you hear Jada discuss Tupac, it frequently appears like she is attempting to depict their association as a heartfelt story suggestive of a Disney film. Let me know constantly say that you will be a star, you're not a man, truly like pot. Come on, he's like you will be a star. What adds a strong aspect to this present circumstance is that even their kids turned out to be unintentionally entrapped in the continuous examination among Will and Tupac. At the youthful age of 11, Willow composed a sincere letter to Tupac, genuinely yearning for his revisitation of Get Bliss to her mom. The letter Willow composed, Dear Tupac, I realize you are alive somewhere. I feel that my mama truly misses you. Might you at any point kindly return? Could you at any point return so Mom and me can be cheerful? I wish you were here. I truly love Willow. It's essential to stress that Willow had never really met Tupac. Her decision to compose a letter to him, communicating her conviction that his return would give joy to her mom, highlights the getting through impact Tupac has had on their relational intricacies. This proposes that Jada keeps on examining Tupac, even in confidential discussions. Besides, Jada has gathered much more consideration by composing a book that incorporates two unforeseen romantic tales. further escalating the interest, encompassing her own life anyway. One fan brought up saying, assuming I were Will Smith, I would have left her subsequent to watching that video. You can see she cherishes Tupac more than anything. And I don't figure anybody can supplant that until she recuperates herself and continues on from the misfortune. So there's a discernment that Jada hasn't put forth apparent attempts to help her caring spouse. And on occasion, she appears to freely censure him. There's an observable dynamic where apparently Jada holds a significant degree of impact over Will. And in spite of his underlying endeavors to define limits, he ultimately seems to yield this perception, has raised public concern. And there are reports of a Twitter crusade, including the hashtag #SaveWillSmith, demonstrating that individuals are really worried about his prosperity and the elements of their relationship. And we chose, moreover, Will has likewise straightforwardly shared probably the most troublesome minutes in his day-to-day existence. And this Jada and Tupac period is surely one of them. Tupac was generally